Hello, everyone. Wishing you all a wonderful day and thank you for being here. Today, we're about to uncover an emotional story that will leave you questioning everything about family, sacrifice, and love. What would you do if you came home after chasing success for years, only to discover that your mother had found happiness living with someone else and no longer needed you the way she once did? Stay with us until the end, because this story takes an unexpected turn. And if you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss our upcoming videos. After returning home from a long and exhausting business trip, a successful daughter expects to reunite with her mother, only to discover that her mother has been living at Khang's peaceful countryside farm for weeks. Shocked and confused, she rushes to find her and is stunned to see her mother happier than ever, enjoying a simple life surrounded by nature, warm meals, and Khang's quiet care. As she spends time at the farm, she begins to realize how many precious family moments she sacrificed while chasing success. When she decides to bring her mother back to the city, everything seems right at first, but her mother slowly loses the happiness she found. Faced with guilt, love, and a painful truth, the daughter must decide what truly matters before it's too late. Morning arrived softly over the distant mountains, with pale sunlight stretching across the quiet countryside and covering Khang's farm in a warm golden glow. While the world outside rushed forward with deadlines, ambition, and endless noise, Khang moved at a completely different pace. He walked slowly along the dirt road, leading to his chili field, breathing in the fresh morning air as birds sang in the distance and wind brushed gently through the leaves. In front of him stretched endless rows of red and green chili peppers, and he carefully harvested each ripe pepper by hand, placing them into a basket with calm patience. As he worked, Khang reflected on how different his life used to be, filled with pressure, responsibilities, and constant chaos. He once believed success meant moving faster than everyone else, but standing in the middle of his peaceful farm, he realized true happiness had never been something far away. It was hidden in simple moments, honest labor, and the quiet beauty of everyday life. At the same time, far away in the city, the daughter was returning home after a long business trip filled with exhausting meetings, endless flights, and non-stop pressure. Everyone praised her growing career, but deep inside, she felt emotionally drained. While waiting at the airport, she opened her phone and saw two unread messages from her mother. "Mom is doing fine. Don't worry about me and focus on your work. I'm okay." The short messages brought tears to her eyes because she realized her mother had stopped asking when she would come home. When she finally arrived home late that night, she expected to see her mother waiting for her, but instead, she found an empty house. Her mother's medicine was still on the table. The kitchen looked untouched, and panic quickly consumed her. She rushed to ask the neighbor where her mother was, and was shocked to learn that her mother had been staying at Khang's farm for weeks. Confused and overwhelmed, she drove to the countryside the very next morning. When she arrived at the farm, she was stunned to see her mother smiling, healthy, and happier than she had looked in years. Nearby, Khang continued working peacefully in the chili fields as if this quiet life had always belonged to him. Her mother warmly embraced her and happily explained that Khang had been taking very good care of her. Those words deeply wounded the daughter because she realized that while she had been busy building her career, someone else had been there for her mother. She stayed at the farm for the day and helped her mother prepare dinner. Together, they chopped vegetables, fried tofu, made spring rolls, and cooked a warm family meal. As they cooked, the daughter was reminded of her childhood and realized how many simple moments with her mother she had missed. Later, when Khang had not yet returned from work, the daughter fed Miu the cat by mixing rice with meat and calling it over to eat. While doing so, she looked around at the peaceful house, the animals, and the beautiful garden and finally understood why her mother had fallen in love with life on the farm. That evening, Khang returned home, covered in dirt, after a long day of harvesting chili peppers, but his face remained calm and peaceful. The three of them sat together for dinner, laughing softly and sharing a warm meal that felt like a true family gathering. The daughter watched her mother's joyful expression and quietly realized how fragile these moments were. The next morning, the atmosphere became much heavier as the daughter made the difficult decision to bring her mother home with her. She sincerely thanked Khang for caring for her mother during her absence. Her mother looked around the farm with hesitation, thanked Khang for everything he had done, and reminded him to take care of himself. Khang did not try to stop them or ask anyone to stay. He simply stood there in silence as the car drove away and dust rose behind it. When the vehicle disappeared into the distance, Khang remained standing alone in front of the quiet farm. The mountains, the wind, and the chili fields looked exactly the same as they had the day before. But this time, the silence felt far more painful. After the car carrying the daughter and her mother disappeared down the long, dusty road, Khang remained standing silently at the entrance of the farm, watching until he could no longer see them. The wind continued moving through the chili fields, birds still sang in the trees, and the mountains remained calm and unchanged. Yet everything suddenly felt emptier than before. For the first time in a long while, the peaceful silence Khang once loved now felt unbearably heavy. He slowly walked back into the house and immediately noticed the absence of warmth that the mother had brought into his daily life. Her favorite chair near the window was empty. The teacup she often used sat untouched on the table. Even Miu the cat wandered around the house as if searching for her. Khang tried to return to his normal routine by working in the fields the next morning, but his concentration was gone. Every corner of the farm reminded him of the family atmosphere that had briefly filled his home. Meanwhile, the daughter drove her mother back to the city, believing she was finally doing the right thing. She promised herself that things would be different now. She would spend more time with her mother, reduce her workload, and rebuild the relationship she had neglected for so long. At first, everything seemed normal. She prepared meals for her mother, rearranged her schedule, and tried to create a comfortable life at home. But slowly, she began noticing changes in her mother's behavior. Her mother spent long periods quietly staring out the window. She often looked at old photos taken at Khang's farm. She missed the peaceful mornings, the fresh air, Miu the cat, and the simple routines that had made her feel alive again. Even though she appreciated her daughter's efforts, something inside her felt missing. The daughter noticed this growing sadness and began blaming herself again. One evening, she overheard her mother quietly whispering that she missed the farm. Those words deeply unsettled her because she realized that bringing her mother home had not solved anything. Around the same time, Khang received a message from the daughter asking how he had been doing. Although the message was simple, it reopened emotions both of them had been trying to hide. Khang responded politely, but he could sense that something was wrong. Days later, the daughter received concerning news from the hospital after a routine health check for her mother. The doctor informed her that her mother needed further treatment and emotional stability was extremely important for her recovery. The daughter felt completely overwhelmed. She had spent years chasing success only to realize that money and achievements could not protect the people she loved from time, illness, or emotional pain. Feeling lost, she made a difficult decision and drove her mother back to Khang's farm for a visit. When they arrived, her mother's face immediately brightened in a way the daughter had not seen since leaving. Mew ran toward them, and Khang stood frozen in surprise as he saw them return. The daughter looked at Khang with tears in her eyes and finally admitted that she may have made the wrong decision by forcing her mother to leave a place where she had truly been happy. Khang welcomed them back without anger, blame, or resentment. He simply smiled and helped carry their bags inside. As the mother walked through the farm once again, she seemed lighter, happier, and more at peace. The daughter began spending more time at the farm as well, slowly learning that success was meaningless if it cost her the moments that truly mattered. Together, they started rebuilding their lives, not through dramatic promises, but through small, everyday moments filled with honesty, forgiveness, and love. And as another peaceful morning rose over the mountains, Khang returned to harvesting chili peppers, but this time he was no longer alone. The daughter stood beside him, learning how to slow down, while her mother watched nearby with a peaceful smile, finally surrounded by the people who mattered most.